right, it's time to take a look at June reading something. Hey everyone, it is Shannon, and I'm super excited to be here today and to share with you this video. This is going to be my June reading plans video, and it's not going to be a formal TBR because I'm still sort of working through, reflecting back on how May went, which was my May reading challenge was to read 2,000 pages from the books I'm currently reading. At the end of May, it was 38 titles, and by the end of May, which hasn't actually happened yet, it'll still be over 30. So there's a lot to choose from, so I'm a little hesitant to add new books, but here we are. I'm going to try and do my best to sort of stick to the spirit of that, but also branch out a little bit, but I'm not sure exactly how I want to approach things. All that being said, there are a couple events and readathons and there are some readathons and social reads and eventish, stuff that I want to participate in this month. So I thought, well, I'm going to do a video to share the love of those and share how I want to feel like I can participate. And so we're just going to roll with it. I am being very, it's not usually my way to sort of like shift and flow when things change. And so I'm doing my best. But I really like to plan. But when things change, it's better to shift and adapt than just stick to the plan if the plan is no longer working. So I don't know how I want to move forward on like what happened in May, but I do know I want to do my best to participate in these events. So we're going to talk about them. So first up for readathons, we have the Categorically Romance Readathon. It is going from June 5th to June 20th, and it's hosted by Sarah, the bookish knitter, and Bree from Falling for Romance. And I'm really excited about this. As you can probably imagine, it's about reading category romance, and lucky me, I have not one but two on my currently reading, so those are going to be the ones that I am going to focus on. And so first up, we have a Harlequin historical, Her Gallant Captain at Waterloo by Diane Gaston. I am about halfway through this one, so it is a Regency romance, and it is set in Brussels, and I am enjoying it so far. I'm actually really surprised that I haven't finished it. Yeah, 1815, so that's Regency, and you also know because it is on the spine. This is one from earlier this year, and so I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure there is, one of the prompts is to read a 2021 release, so it would fit for that. Of course, I will leave all of the announcement videos and all of the things that I mentioned, all the people I mentioned, I will link them down below. So yeah, so there are five prompts for the Categorically Romance Readathon, but I'm going to mostly focus on just reading the category romance I'm already in the middle of, so I hope that's okay. So this is one, and if I finish it, I actually did subscribe to Reader Service for Harlequin Historical, so I have a lot of historicals to choose from, but that one is first priority. And then I also have a Harlequin Blaze, yes, heating up the holidays. So this is a holiday themed romance. It's a set of 3 novellas, and you can imagine when I probably started this. Yeah, that would be last Christmas. It was even November. I started it in November. I thought I would finish it by Christmas. I did not. I read the first story, which is by Jill Shalvis, and I'm partway through the second story. So I have 1.5 stories left in this one, and I think it's hard to tell because it's percentages and it doesn't have page counts on the Kindle version. So I think it's probably, the Blazes tend to be about 180 pages, so probably 90 pages left in this one and probably 140 in this one. So that's 250 pages to enjoy, and so those are the ones that I am going to work with. I do have lots of Harlequins kicking around both digitally and physically, so if I finish both of those, I'm sure I will have more to choose from, and I very much look forward to seeing what other people choose for their TBRs. So that is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to that readathon. I'm also looking forward to the next round of Translateathon. This is hosted by Rhea, the Bookfinch, and it is all about reading translated works. And thankfully, I have several translated works on my currently reading. So I have actually 3 to choose from. And the first up, this one I have been reading for over a year, and I did work on it last Translateathon, but it's just a really long one. And that is The Girl Who Played with Fire by Stig Larsson. This is translated from the Swedish by Reg Keelan. So this is a second second in the series, the Millennium Trilogy, that's now become more books. I have seen the film. It's a mystery thriller. It's very intense. And so I'm kind of sort of still going, should I continue reading this? But it's one of the oldest books on my Goodreads TBR, so I'm a bit of a stickler for things like that. So that is one to choose from. Then I also have Les Miserables, and I have it in volumes. I broke the book into 5 different volumes because there's 5 books. And so this is by Victor Hugo, translated from the French by Christine Doniger, and I'm currently in this second part. So I'm about 300 pages in, and it's 1,300 pages. So that's a lot to work with. So we have Les Mis. And then I also have, and this is nice, I have some nonfiction. So I have Escher on Escher, Exploring the Infinite. This is written by M.C. Escher, the graphic artist, and it is translated from the Dutch by Karen Ford. I'm actually very far into this one, 104 pages, and it's about 150 pages. So so that'll be nice to have some nonfiction in the mix. And so I was actually really happy to see I had three books to choose from for Translateathon. And so what I'm actually going to probably do, I'll leave the link to the Translateathon announcement video that Rhea did up above for you to check out. There are, I think, also 5 prompts for that. There's, is it 5? 5 prompts, but of course the main goal is to read translated work. So I hope that for both Translateathon and the Categorically Romance Readathon, people don't mind if I just continue works that I am already reading. I think that it would be good to make more progress there, and I'm looking forward to participating in both events, and so I think that will be lots of fun. There was something else I was going to say. What was I going to say? Oh, I am not sure. I'm not sure about that. I lost the thought there. Oh, well, we will just continue on. So those are the 2 readathons that I'm hoping to participate in. They actually cross over each other and take up the majority of the month because it's June 5th to the 27th. So that is a lot of the month. That's what I was going to say. I'm actually going to do weekly TBRs. I'm going to change up the scheduling a little bit on the channel, and I will do wrap-ups on Sundays and weekly TBRs on Mondays. So both of these, I think, there's only going to be one TBR for the Categorically Romance Readathon, but there will be 2 wrap-ups, and then for the Translateathon there will be 2 TBRs and 2 wrap-ups. So I'm going to try and work them into some of the other books that I'm reading as well, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do, but I may read more different titles, especially if I finish some of these before the readathons. So on Mondays I will release a TBR video, and then on Sundays I will do a wrap-up video, which is a rhythm I sort of got into at the end of May, and I actually think it really works. I didn't mean to do it because it means recording on Sunday, which is not necessarily what I want to do, but it actually works because Sunday is when I do my reading plan. So so I'm going to try that for June and do Monday TBRs and Sunday wrap-ups and see how that feels. I don't know if that's like too much about the same books, but I'm going to give it a shot and go with this whole adjusting to things as they happen. Not my favorite. So, okay, on to the social reads. I am continuing to read the, I always call the Pandava series, but I think it's Pandava series by Roshani, and so this is the 3rd book, Shah and the Tree of Wishes, and I am buddy reading this with Izzy, Punk Rock Girl PA, and K Kelly, and the live show for this one is the 29th of June, Tuesday, 29th of June at 7 p.m., so you're welcome to join us if you have read the first 2 books and want some, inspiration to read the 3rd book, or if you want to just read the whole series. They are middle grade, urban fantasy, mythology-based works, so they don't take a lot of time, although I said it at the last live show, I'm going to try and give myself 2 weeks to read this one, just to make it a little more of a relaxed pace. I usually give myself a week, and I get all stressed. So hopefully I will give myself 2 weeks to read this one. I'm really enjoying the series. I like the second one a little bit better than the first. There were some things that I didn't like so much about it, but there were definitely other things that I liked a fair amount more. So both of them were good, and I'm looking forward to continuing the series. And then for the Who Picked This Book book club, they have well, there's one read in June and one in sort of early July, and I have been really remiss in participating this year, so I would like to read at least one of these two titles and participate in it. I still go to like almost all of the live shows, even though I've read so few of the books, but hopefully this will be my month. So the first one is The Cracked Spine by Paige Shelton. This is the first book in the Scottish Bookshop Mystery Series. It is a cozy mystery series, and the live show for this one will be June 16th. I'll leave a link to Nicole's channel, which all of the live shows have the schedule in the Google Doc to sign up. That has all of the schedule for the rest of the year, so if you're curious to the schedule for the Readathon, so I'll leave a link to one of the live shows up above and down below, so you can check that out. So yeah, so this one, the live show is June 16th, and then in July, but I would start it in June because I'm trying to give myself more lead time on social reading. On July 7th, the live show for Live and Let Chai will go up, and this is by Bree Baker, which is a pseudonym for Julianne Lindsay, and this is the first in the Seaside Cafe mystery series, and everyone who has read these books has absolutely loved them. So, and they're reading through the entire series starting July 7th with this one. So I don't know if I'll be able to make it through the entire series, but I definitely want to read Live and Let Chai, and and there's, I don't know the name of the bird, but apparently the bird is quite a character, so I am looking forward to that. And then lastly, just because I want to read it, so I did pick one specifically that has it's just like, I want to read it. I just want to read this, and that one is Pirate's Pleasure by Lisa Kessler. Who wouldn't want to read this? This is urban fantasy, paranormal romance. It is the third book in the Sentinels of Savannah series that follows immortal pirates. I love this series so much, and I'm actually being a little overconfident saying I want to read this because I'm still reading Pirate's Passion, which is the second book, and the series starts with Magnolia Mystic. I just really have enjoyed these, and the reason why I want to read this in June is that it's the third book, and then the fifth book comes out at the end of July. So if I read this in June and then the fourth book in July, then I can read the new book in August. So that is my plan there. So fingers crossed that I finish those 70 pages in Pirate's Passion so I can read Pirate's Pleasure. Like, it's honestly, I enjoy it so much. I was so excited when it was one of the picks, I think for week 2 of my May reading challenge, and I read lots of it. I read 220 pages of it in 1 week, and I need those last 70 pages, or was it 210 pages? It was a lot of pages. Out of all of the books I read, it was one of the most that I read in 1 week, and but I didn't make it to the end, and every week I've tried to work it in, but I've been very committed to stick to the 5 that I picked for the week and try not to read anything else until I get my pages in for that 5. So, and I will have both a reading reflection for the May reading challenge on how it went as a challenge as a whole, and then I'm also going to have just my regular stats and reflection. I'm really curious to see how many of my annual goals I hit by reading this way. I didn't finish anywhere near as many titles as I thought I would. I read lots of pages, but I didn't have many finishes, but that wasn't the goal. The goal was the pages. So I'm questioning whether that makes sense. And anyway, so I got lots of reflecting to do still there to figure out moving forward and blah, 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 and all that good stuff. So anyway, as I mentioned, I am changing up the schedule a little bit on the channel. I know May was it was all over the place. There was almost no videos, and then videos almost every day, and then back to not very many videos. I'm going to try and have things be a bit more stable in June. As I mentioned, I'm going to have wrap-ups on Sundays, share how the week went, TBRs for the week on Mondays to share what I am going to pick. And I have a feeling the TBR jars will come back into play, but haven't totally decided. And I will firm up what I'll read for the readathons in the TBR videos. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, I'll have a combination of other, videos, reflections, hauls, tags, film stuff, you know, that kind of thing. And yeah, and so I'm really happy with that. The schedule, it took a while to figure out what to do, and I'm going to try that for June. Fingers crossed it goes well. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to June. And let me know what you are reading this month. Are you participating in either Categorically Romance Readathon or Translateathon, or perhaps both? Will I be the only person that participates in both? I think there is another time where they crossed over, and I'm like, why isn't there more love for both things? But that's okay, everyone's different, and I love both romance and translated work, so they're both important to me, so that's why I'm participating in the readathons. And yeah, and let me know if you are jumping in on any of the book club picks or going to join us for the Shah and the Tree of Wishes. I am curious as what's going to happen in book 3. Very curious. So there you go. There is my June reading plans. Not a formal TBR, but you know, the bones are there. The bones are there. I will work with things as we go. Doing things differently can be uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean it's not a good thing to do. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to embrace the spirit of that and see where things go. So there you go. Those are my June reading plans as of this moment, and we will see what happens every Monday and every Sunday. All right. Thank you so much for watching.